Good morning from Sebring International Raceway. My name is Rob Howden, the voice of the USF Pro Championship. So we say hello to those of you tuned in from around the country and around the world here on the USF Pro Championships app, website, or YouTube channel. Lots of different ways to watch the broadcast from this Cooper Tires Grand Prix of Sebring. It is essentially day 3 of a 4-day event, and for the first time we have a little bit of clouds in the sky. It's been beautiful, clear blue skies Thursday and Friday here in Sebring, Florida, but a little bit of clouds here today. Very comfortable temperatures, up to 76 degrees right now, looking potentially at a high of 90 degrees for this afternoon as we have a couple of races for you. On the racetrack already today, USF 2000 making its debut here as part of this event, this 4-day race here in Sebring. Of course, just a couple of days on from the 12 hours of Sebring that took place last weekend. USF Juniors putting on a fantastic show on Thursday and Friday, the first rung of this USF Pro Championship program. 3 straight races, 3 different winners, green to checker in all 3 races. Not a caution flag for those young drivers, the development pilots, really setting the standard for the rest of the driver lineup here, as they did such a great job out there. Again, all those drivers in USF Juniors chasing the scholarship worth over $240,000 to move to USF 2000 next year. But the drivers on the grid getting set to go, waiting for the green for qualifying, is USF Pro 2000, the top level of our program. Of course, the scholarship there valued at over $664,000. All these drivers looking for the money to make the move to Indy next in 2024. And there you go. The green has been rolled out and we're underway. Drivers bolting out of pit lane. Coming into the day here after the race yesterday, we are driver hitting his second win of the season, 3rd straight podium finish, and he will take the point lead in the action here today. Significantly, now the lead for Miles Rose got off to a massive start to the 2023 season. Great run yesterday for the exclusive Autosport driver Joel Gramforce as well. Last year's runner-up in the GB3 category, coming over here to set his sights on the American racing scene. Of course, Pro 2000, Indy next, then ultimately the NTT IndyCar Series. Gramforce, who started 6th, moved his way up into 2nd. A really impressive run throughout the race for Gramforce. He's been picking up the speed. Pizzi, we talked about, 2nd place in points. Solid run to 3rd for Francesco. So a good start to the season with the TJ Speed driver. Jace Denmark started the pole yesterday, ended up finishing in the 4th position. So Denmark right there in the middle of the championship fight as well, currently in that 3rd spot as rookies lead the way. Pizzi and Denmark tied for 2nd in points with 60, Rowe with 84. So both those drivers, Pizzi and Denmark, would like to see if they can't finish in front of Rowe on this particular occasion. But one of the great things about this particular weekend as well is we have the full 5 sessions. We only had 4 sessions on track at St. Petersburg, so it was practice, 1 lone qualifying run to set the grid for both race 1 and race 2. So the first lap, fastest lap in St. Pete set the grid for race 1. The second fastest lap from qualifying was your provisional start for race number 2. Here, though, 2 separate qualifying sessions. So yesterday, qualifying 1, race 1. Drivers rolling on track right now for qualifying 2, set the grid for race number 2. 19 drivers in the field here. Great group of drivers. We mentioned Rowe, Gramforce, and Pizzi, 1, 2, 3. Denmark was 4th yesterday. Jordan Missick made it all 3 Pabst drivers in the top 5. Liram Zendelli for TJ Speed Motorsports was 6th. Salvador De Alba for Exclusive Autosports, 7th. Reese Ushijima for J. Howard Driver Development was 8th. Yuvan Sundaramurthy and Christian Weir rounding out the top 10. Drivers back out here ready to get at it. Pole award for USF Pro 2000 worth $1,500. Jace Denmark, fastest driver yesterday. There's Miles Rowe. 1 driver already into pit lane. I think that may have been the 6 of Ushijima. Yeshijima, the driver who now lives in Scottsdale, Arizona, Californian, though, who jumped into karting at the age of 13, but quickly moved over to Europe to do some European karting and right into the GB3 series. F3 experience as well. Great to have him over here with us this year as part of what is a tremendous international lineup in USF Pro 2000 presented by Cooper Tires. Drivers from Ireland, Mexico, Germany, Brazil, Sweden, Italy. Of course, the whole host of drivers from the U.S. as well. Great to have Cooper Tires on board, obviously our primary sponsor. Cooper Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the USF Pro Championships. Be sure to visit them today at the Cooper Tire display in the paddock for a free gift. And while you're there, check out the all-new Discoverer Rugged Trek, the ultimate suburban cruiser. It's an all-season tire featuring an aggressive tread design that delivers excellent traction and comfort on concrete. For more information, visit coopertire.com and follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Team Cooper Tire. Miles Rowe working his way through Sunset Bend. That's turn number 17. If any of you watched the 12 Hours of Sebring, you know the kind of suspension travel that the prototypes had coming through that corner. These cars, of course, much more stiffly sprung than the prototypes, and it is a rough ride through turn 17 for the drivers here. Number 12, Kiko Porto. A couple of second-place finishes for Kiko. St. Petersburg came in looking very good in the points, but he finished dead last yesterday after an issue. A mechanical put him to the tail of the field. Unbelievably tough for Kiko, and that has knocked him down to 4th place in points, and he is now 32 points back of Miles Rowe. So Kiko will be looking for a recovery day here. Another driver with issues yesterday was Michael D'Orlando, who, again, coming off not a great run at St. Petersburg. Some issues for him there. He had an issue as well with a wheel sensor, I believe, or a sensor on the car. There's a driver spinning. Driver has gone off in turn number 7, right in front of our turn 7 camera. I think that might have been Yuvan Sundaramurthy. I think he may have dropped a wheel, maybe coming into the entry. Driver right in front of us there spinning. I think that was Sundaramurthy. We'll see whether or not if he comes back to the left side of the racetrack. You might see him come back on track if he's not damaged the car, but that's a tough way to get things underway. I think that was Sundaramurthy, not for sure. But as I look back up, I was looking down at live timing. I look back up, and there's a car sliding off the track. Hopefully did not make contact with the outside retaining wall. I'll look over the shoulder here myself over to the 7 Hotel, which is right outside that particular corner. Not sure whether or not Sundaramurthy was able to continue. This is turn number 16. Very crucial corner of the racetrack, as we know. Leads onto the straightaway, the Ullman Straight there, coming all down into turn number 17. So let's see what we got here now. Time starting to come in. A couple laps in. Liram Zendelli for TJ Speed. 159.810. Qualifying yesterday at 158.4. Fast lap right now, 159.8, so 1.4 off. Here comes the number 2 of Jonathan Brown, the Turn 3 Motorsports driver into pit lane. As is Yeshijima in the number 6, Lindsey Brewer in the C4 Smart Energy Exclusive Autosport number 93. As it is red. So red flag, I believe, then for Sundaramurthy, potentially the driver off over in turn number 7. So safety crew working their way down into turn number 7. Indeed, the number 90 of Yuvan Sundaramurthy, as I had said, spinning. We'll see if we can't get another shot at that replay again. Again, I was looking down at live timing. Here it is here. Here's the replay. Wait for the driver to potentially drop a wheel coming into the corner. Here they come through turn number 7. The car kind of moved to the left. Not sure what happened there. You can see the car. All of a sudden, he gets down there. Let's see if we can get a little further back. Yeah, there we go, coming through. He gets on the brakes, and you can see the car brake to the left. You wonder whether or not maybe something snapped or something happened in the braking, because all of a sudden, instead of that car, of course, when you get in there and you're getting hard on that brakes, that first initial brake hit, you want the thing, the nose to dive, and it's going to be balanced. That thing immediately shot to the left on Juven. And he really, at that point, I think he was probably a passenger trying to keep it out of the wall. Hopefully he did not get in the wall, but sooner or later he was 13th in the grid. 13th in the order there as the remainder of the cars coming in. Yeah, Sooner Murthy all the way off the far part of the racetrack. Far end. All the safety crews getting over there right now. Let's have a look as they stand, because there's still time. We are red. So in this qualifying session, it's a 25-minute session. 11 minutes still remain. The clock has stopped. Lirim Zendelli currently on top. A 159.818 for Zendelli. A 159.940. Salvador de Alba up into the second spot. Joel Grandforth in third. Jace Denmark fourth, and Kiko Porto sits fifth. Michael D'Orlando in sixth spot. Miles Rowe in seventh. Christian Weir eighth. Francesco Pizzi in ninth. And Jonathan Brown rounding out the top 10. You can see, obviously, the team's going to work. This will be an opportunity for if they have the set still, to put on some fresh Cooper tires. I would not be surprised if that's what we're going to see up and down pit lane. Indeed, a number of drivers getting ready to put fresh rubber on for what could be a pretty solid run here. Again, I thought the time had stopped. Time still winding down now, 10:17. Let's have a look at that again, if we can get our producers to give us another shot at what happened to Juven Sooner Murthy coming down into turn number 7. We had that turn 7 camera up. Here it is here again. Remember, we'll wait for a number of cars to come through. He just gets on the brakes coming into turn number 7, and the car all of a sudden just turns left on him. Here it is here. He's the second car here on the brakes. You can see the thing just immediately turned left. I don't know whether or not, did he have any part of the left side tires over the other side of the curb that potentially got into the dirt? I don't know. Tough one for Juven for sure. No, I don't think so. It looks like he's right in the correct position on the track, and the car just immediately goes left on him. And look at, you can see him recover, turn into the correction, and ideally, no damage to the car. Can you run that back a little bit again, will you guys? Let's see if there's any front wing damage. Just we're going to watch it again. When he comes through here, keep a look at the front of the car as well, whether or not there's any potential damage to the front. But that's tough for Juven coming in there, because you got to have the comfort in your car. Here it is here, spinning sideways. Look at the front wing. And that, maybe the front wing just get picked off, but the front wing is hanging off there. So I don't know whether or not the front wing had a failure coming into the brake zone, or if it happened when he went off the racetrack and got into the curb. Yeah, maybe it's already off. Yeah, maybe just because it got into the curb there. We talked about the fact that because we're just a couple of days off from the 12 hours, saying that the grip level was obviously much more than we had in spring training when we were here the couple of days before St. Petersburg. But also a lot of rubber on the rumbles on the outside, but also on the outside of the rumbles, where you can see drivers would drop a wheel. With so many cars running, of course, the WEC race before the 12 hours of Sebring, so much racing happening here last weekend. The drop-off on the outside of the curb is significant. And our cars being, of course, so low, the ride height's so low, the ride height a lot higher on the prototypes with the suspension travel that they have. Man, you get off the track there, you're going to essentially high center the race car, and it's going to have some trouble. So that's probably where the damage happened for Juven Sooner Murthy. The green has come back out. We are running again. 12 minutes and 35 seconds I'm seeing on live timing. Everybody with fresh rubber, so lots of time for these drivers to find the speed, build the heat into these Coopers, and get to work. Lirim Zendelli, though, with the fastest time, a 159.818. But that's about 1.4 seconds off the quick time that Jace Denmark laid down yesterday for the pole position. So it's Zendelli, De Alba, Grandforce, Denmark, and Porto, your current top 5. But lots of time to go. Zendelli in the number 10. Here's a shot coming down turn number 16 over to 17. We'll see some passing potentially down to the inside of this corner into Sunset Bend. 16, a very crucial corner, getting out of that corner to be able to make the pass down here, or if the driver defends, runs the inside line to cover off the bottom coming into 17. You can get it over under to potentially work their way through. And watch these cars jink as they come through that corner. Wow. That's a great shot to see how they're kind of settling and the compression and the rebound of the suspension. The damper's just working through that corner. It's so bumpy. Talked to a couple drivers yesterday afternoon as well. It's fast on the outside of that corner, but you also run a higher risk of getting into the bumps on the outside. It's a lot bumpier on the outside, so you're on the inside line, you're pinching the corner off a little bit, a little wider on the outside, you're carrying more speed, but there's always an issue with the bumps on the outside of the racetrack. That is the character of Sebring International Raceway for sure. The predecessor of this USF Pro 2000 program, you go all the way back through Pro Mazda, back to the Star Mazda days that ran here. Star Mazda used to run here at Sebring as part of the 12-hour weekend as well. One of our race directors, Joel Miller, actually a winner here at Sebring in Star Mazda competition. There's, I believe, Jordan Missig coming through there. That's Chase Denmark. Denmark P1 yesterday. So as these Coopers come up to temp, we'll see what happens. And remember, this is the thing, 3.74 miles, 17 corners, a long racetrack, a long lap as well. So even though we have 10 minutes up to speed, maybe 4, maybe 5 laps to cap things off on this qualifying session. So they're not going to get all the time they need. Zendelli's 159.818, provisional pole, but a long time to go, fresh tires. Lap times will fall. Wait for that to come around. Yeah, in fact, there you go. Jace Denmark goes to 159.257. Denmark to P1. Jordan Missing, a teammate following him. Now it's Pizzi. Francesco Pizzi. There's Christian Weir in the 32 coming through Sunset Bend. But Pizzi goes to P1. 159.248 for Francesco Pizzi. Jace Denmark in second. Miles Rowe third. Jordan Missing fourth. Joel Grandforce. Those 5 drivers all going quicker. And they're going to go faster, too. This is just the first really flying lap as well, so we'll expect more. Francesco Pizzi, P1 right now. Solid start to the season here in 2023 for Francesco, not only here in USF Pro 2000, but winning the LMP2 class at the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona this year. So a little Rolex watch for Francesco to start the day. Last year running in the FIA Formula 3 Championship with Charouz Racing. Ran in the Freck Series back in 2021. Formula Regional European Championship. We've had a number of drivers come this way. Michael D'Orlando now to the top. The reigning USF 2000 champion with the USF Pro Championships livery. A 158.658. Talk about winning that scholarship. Obviously, great to have Discount Tire on board with our scholarship as well. They are, Discount Tire is our official tire retailer for the USF Pro Championships presented by Cooper Tires. At Discount Tire, we know your time is valuable. Get a 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online. And did you know that Discount Tire offers wiper blades? Save time and buy and book online at discounttire.com. VP Racing Fuels is the exclusive fuel supplier for all 3 levels of the USF Pro Championships. In 2021, VP expanded the role, and they are the official lubricant and coolant of the series. In addition to VP Racing Oil and VP Racing Gear Oil, this includes VP Racing's new line of Stay Frosty Performance Engine Coolants. Fully formulated engine coolants that provide greater heat transfer in order to remain cool, prevent heating, overheating rather, and allow performance at optimal levels. We have so many great partners as part of this program. Cooper Tires, Discount Tire, VP Racing Fuels, and again, Skip Barber Racing School is now our new official racing school as well. USF Juniors, of course, racing for $221,000 worth of scholarship. I think that $241,000 worth of scholarship. Exciting that Skip Barber will give a $100,000 scholarship to their Formula Race Series champion this year. So their champion of this year is going to be in juniors next year in 2024. So thrilled to have Skip Barber Racing School on board with us. Almost everyone turning down personal fast laps here now. Michael D. Orlando, P1. Francesco Pizzi, second. Miles Rowe, third. Salvador de Alba, fourth. And Kiko Porto in fifth. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's 5 teams. That is D. Orlando with turn 3. Pizzi with TJ Speed. Rowe with Pabst Racing. Salvador de Alba with Exclusive Autosport. And Kiko Porto with D-Force Racing. 5 different teams in the top 5 right now. It's one of the things you don't see in Europe. There's a lot of teams, obviously, that are more at the pointy end of the grid, and if you want to win races, you got to be with certain teams. That the beauty of this program here in USF Pro Championships is that almost any team is going to be able to win a race. D. Orlando 158.538, but a 10th off the fast time from yesterday. Pizzi still second. Michael D. Orlando looking for a recovery after 3 tough races to start the season. You look at the championship right now, and you got to go down to 18th to find Michael D. Orlando with 18 points. 21 points out of 7th if I go up to Liram Zendelli. So I'll tell you, he'll be looking for a big day today. Michael D. Orlando would love that point up top to maybe get himself on the pole. There's D. Orlando there, coming through turn number 16. About 5 minutes remaining. D. Orlando, Pizzi, Rowe, Zendelli now up into 4th ahead of Denmark. Chase Denmark, P5. Salvador de Alba, 6th spot. Kiko Porto, 7th. Jordan Missig, 8th. Reese Ushijima, 9th. And Joel Grandforce, 10th. Currently, it's Jonathan Brown in 11th. Jackson Lee in 12th. Jack William Miller in 13th. Bajoygaard, 14th. Christian Weir in 15th. Nicholas Monteiro in 16th. Ricardo Escoto in 17th. Lindsey Brewer, 18th. As we know, Yuvan Sundaramurthy only got a couple of laps. Actually, 1 lap in the books. So he's going to start at the tail of the field in 19th spot. Race pace was not an issue for Yuvan yesterday. A solid finish inside the top 10. But he's got work to do here today. D. Orlando, 56 thousandths quicker than Pizzi. 4 minutes remaining. D. Orlando working his way through turn number 3, 4, and 5. Zendelli went quicker last lap, as did Denmark. Ushijima and Jonathan Brown, 9th and 10th, respectively, went quicker on that last lap as well. 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session for the drivers in USF Pro 2000. Their race, green flag set for this afternoon at 3:30. Look for a showtime start at around 3:15. We'll go back to, actually not quite back to back. We have USF Pro 2000. Again, a 3:30 green flag. And then the drivers in USF 2000, their first race of the weekend. Green flag at 5:30. Right around a 5:15 start likely for the broadcast. Lindsey Brewer, a good run yesterday. Limited schedule in 2022 for Lindsey, the Californian. C4 Energy on the side of that car. We actually into one of the local convenience stores, and C4 activating actually at that convenience store with Lindsey. Oh, red flag, seeing that the right side there. Red flag being thrown, so a potential another issue on the racetrack. This could be really good for Michael D. Orlando, because I think we're going to go red and potentially checker here. But there's been an issue on the track. Not quite sure who it is at this point. Hopefully we'll get updated here. Not quite sure what it is at this point, but we are red flag for a driver who's gone off. And it is going to be red and checkered. So that's going to be a pole position for Michael D. Orlando. You wonder whether or not guys were dialing things in. Big one for D. Orlando, who's had nothing but bad luck to start the year. You can see the safety trucks heading out to try to find out where the incident is. I don't know if it's back in turn number 7 again, potentially. I'll keep an eye on the safety truck, the AMR IndyCar safety crew, the USF Pro Championships crew, working their way down into turn number 7. Here's the turn 7 shot here. See that potentially coming to a stop halfway up pit lane, or halfway up between 6 and 7. I don't know if a driver's come to a stop there or not. Nonetheless, it will be Michael D'Orlando on the pole position. A much different start for D'Orlando. He'll be right beside Francesco Pizzi. So D'Orlando with the pole. That's worth $1,500 as well. The Cooper Tile Pole Award. Yeah, and it looks like indeed there's a car off the track. Driver's right, coming into the braking zone of turn number 7. Not quite sure who that is. But D'Orlando will get the pole. Pizzi in second. Rowe third. Zendelli fourth. Row 3 will have Jace Denmark alongside Salvador de Alba. Row 4, Risu Shijima and Kiko Porto. Row 5, Jordan Missig and Joel Grandforce. Row 6, Jonathan Brown and Jackson Lee. Row 7, Jack Miller and Bajoy Garg. Row 8, Ricardo Escoto and Christian Weir. Row 9, Nicholas Monteiro and Lindsey Brewer. And again, on row 10, 19th position, attacking from the tail of the field, it will be Yuvan Sundaramurthy. So again, with about 2.5 minutes left, driver has pulled off the racetrack, coming out of 6 over to 7, and that has brought out the red flag and the checker at the same time. Again, not quite sure, not able to pick out which driver that is. But regardless, that will end this session. So again, a big one for Michael D'Orlando, who had an issue yesterday. This time we'll start from the pole. 158.538 fast lap. Bonus point, $1,500. Maybe first and foremost, the opportunity to start from the pole. Change his fortune with a strong second race here at Sebring. Of course, after this event, drivers here in USF Pro 2000 will focus forward to the month of May and the road course of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. No racing through April for USF Pro 2000, nor the drivers in USF 2000. They'll be heading to Indianapolis. And finally getting an update, it is the 81 of Nick Monteiro, who is stopped between 6 and 7. So Monteiro bringing out the red flag, so he'll lose his fast lap there. Nonetheless, again, Michael D'Orlando, Francesco Pizzi on the front row, Miles Rowe, Liram Zendelli, and Jace Denmark wrap up the Fast Five. We're back here again on USF Pro Championships TV right around 12:25, just after the noon hour. USF 2000 will roll out and qualify for race number 1. Again, they'll be on the racetrack 12:25. Folks, join us again. We'll see which drivers qualifies on the pole for USF 2000. Otherwise, we're looking at a 3:15 p.m. Eastern start for the broadcast of Race 2 for USF Pro 2000. Thanks for tuning in, folks, for this qualifying session for the USF Pro 2000, presented by Cooper Tires. We'll be back, as I said, 12:25 USF 2000 qualifying. Thanks for tuning in, folks. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.